Here I am again talking to you about study guide for exercise for exam 2. This covers chapters 4, 5, and 6, our section on reasons. And we're going to do, it's the same kind of layout as the first test. I want to walk through what's going to be in the different parts and then send you on your merry way. The first thing is a set of matching, and like I said in the chapter 6 video, we're going to use the chapter 6 stuff, the fallacies here and the rhetorical moves. I'm going to choose 20 of those, and they're going to be your matching, and that's how we're going to deploy that part of the chapters. So, studying wise, what I put on the study guide, I'm going to run through this one more time. What I put on the study guide is all the stuff that is eligible to be on the test. Okay, so if you walk through it and you're like, oh, I know this, oh, what's that? That's going to help you study for the test. Now, I don't want to say I don't care, but I really don't want to bear down on this too much, because I know everybody learns a little bit differently, and whatever works for you should be what you do. Now, if you did really well, you got an A or B on the first test, by all means, continue what you're doing. If you weren't happy with your grade on the first test, then maybe you should adjust a little bit. And so I give you a study guide so you know what to focus on in the test, because we have over 100 pages of stuff to condense into a test you can do in one sitting. That's the other thing that's lovely about our particular model. You have the test and you can work through it at your own pace. You have to give yourself enough time to get it in on time. That's the big deal. Okay, so remember though, as far as points for the study guide, the only thing you have to do is the practice questions at the very end. Okay, these represent kind of the hardest questions that might be on the test are going to be like these. And so I want you to practice those specifically before you get into the test. The rest of it is stuff we've gone through already. You've probably had questions in your homework about, or I've told you directly, do this stuff, like do this stuff, right? But you don't necessarily have to write it all out. Now, in my own kind of reasoning, I give extra credit for extra work. So if you do more than just answer the questions in the practice area, then you get extra credit. A point here, point there, up to 5 points. Okay, so if you got 25 on your last study guide, you maxed it out. Okay, that's the big score. So make sure that you're actually turning in the practice questions at the bottom of the study guide, and you're golden. If you do other things, turn that in too, and that way you get extra credit. More golden. Okay, maybe platinum. Okay, so we have the matching. Going to come from here. The big words, I did not write these down on here, but I will. Everything that was on the first test will be on this one. And so your big words, how is that? That is not even beginning. Okay, your new big words, there are 5 of them. And I've labeled them this way in the notes, and I've labeled them this way when I'm talking about them in the lectures, and so you probably already have these written down, but I'm just going to make sure. Background information. Expert. Bias, and that's on page 160. Objectivity, also page 160. And then fallacy, which is on page 189. Okay? Those are your 5 new big words. You have to give me what's in the book. I think all of these are in the glossary, but You have to give me what's in the book, all that's in the book. Okay, it's usually a complete sentence. It might be a sentence, a compound sentence or a complex sentence with a semicolon there in the middle, but we've talked about these. Okay, please, please, please do not use Google or your dictionary because you will get points off. Short answers. In all honesty, I haven't made the test yet, so I'm giving you kind of a, this might be on the test. I'll pick from this, I won't add to this. Fact versus opinion, personal experience, and eyewitness testimony, numeracy and probability, how likely is it that your next flip of a coin is going to be heads or tails, that kind of stuff. And then fake news and ethics, telling fake from real. There are 4 strategies, 3 questions, and we talk about fact checking, media bias, advertising, reasonable skepticism, videos and manipulation, sorry. And then our mini essays, and I call these mini essays because I really only want 2 paragraphs, okay? So in the first one, you're gonna have, anyway, one of them is gonna be on expert versus non-expert, or dubious authorities, and the other one is gonna be on micro-targeting. What is it, how does it work, what does it do to elections, to other crucial ideas and democracies and all of that. Because I think that's a very big thing that impacts our everyday lives all the time, and we don't know enough about it. So that's the test, really. Remember that you're going to download the test and fill it in either by hand or electronically. And pay attention to directions, please. Pay attention to directions, please. If I ask you for specific things and you don't have it, you lose points. Please make a stab at everything. You have as much time as you allow yourself to do this. And so you can use your notes and your book and these lectures and your homework and all of that, but please don't make this a group assignment because it's not. That is academic dishonesty, and I'm pretty good, this is not a challenge, but I'm pretty good at detecting when this is going on. These tests are all new, so, you know, but do your best work, do as much as you possibly can, make sure you turn it in on time, and everything is happiness, okay? So let me know again if you have questions. I'm more than happy to walk through things with you or clarify and be as specific as possible in your questions. I don't understand this test. That's a huge question. I can't go through all that in an email, right? You've had hours of videos and over 100 pages of text, and you've done hours of work on the homework, and yeah, I try to be representative. Yes, there's going to be some stuff on there that probably is a little out of the loop. That's what a test is, right? Some of this stuff is what we call grammar. That's this stuff. Okay, what does this mean? That's pretty easy, right? Big words too. When we get into the short answers, this is a little bit of application, right? So, fake news. The mini essays, even more so as far as explanation and getting into things that you have to kind of put more than one concept together. And I'm hoping that you're finding these reasonable, but you also have to do reasonable amounts of work to get there. So again, let me know if you have questions. You know how to get a hold of me, and I hope you have a great day and do well on the test.